Yeah, 1981 to 85, you're the head coach at Central Arizona. Take us through that first meeting with your softball team. As you said, you didn't know much
Yep.
about it. You never had coached women before, but what was that meeting like?
Well, it was. I didn't know any different. I said they're athletes, and I know the bat and ball game, and so the one thing I did know is that I'm going to be a fundamentalist. I mean, we're going to teach them how to play the game the right way, and then I had to go out and kind of learn fast pitch softball. So um, I decided I would go out and watch the men play. And I remember one night or one summer, there was a tournament in Kimberly, Wisconsin. It was the International Softball Congress World Championship. I went out and watched the best, and that's where I really kind of learned the nuances of the game, because I used to think, why is everyone bunting in softball? Can't they hit? And then I go and I find out the speed of the game and the shortness
Yeah.
of the field and the short game. I mean, a lot of the little differences is where I picked it up, and then so I was always been a student of the game, and I decided to bring it back and started doing some of that stuff at Arizona. And speed kills. Speed doesn't go into a slump, and that's one of the neat parts about softball.
What was the bigger adjustment, going from male to female or going from baseball to softball?
Well, I would say male to female. I think, and I'll tell you why. Because coaching baseball, junior college baseball, every kid thought they were going to be in the big leagues, so they weren't great students. They didn't take their education seriously, and therefore they put all their eggs in one basket. And I remember sitting around and listening to grown men cry about, they had no future because they didn't finish their education. And it was pretty sad. And so real quickly, I realized that, men are pretty cocky, and they do things in spite of you. And then I go to the women and I'm going, my God, they're like a mound of clay, and you can mold them any way you want because they don't have any bad habits. And actually, after about a year, I realized, the big difference is that men have to play good to feel good. Women have to feel good to play good. And so the emotional side was a big part of it, and learning how to tap into that emotional side and turn it into a positive. I started enjoying that piece of it because I never had any problems with academics. They're all good students because they knew that softball was not going to be the end of their life. They were going to walk away with an education and use softball as a platform, and so it was a much easier thing, And then I really liked the idea of having someone that didn't have any habits, that you could, teach them the right way, and they would pick up on it. Very coachable, but very emotional, And so you had to kind of understand the ups and downs that you were going to go through, and I realized that I could turn those emotions into positives much easier than I can the ego,